All right, here we are for our part 2 edition of PowerUps, Spaceship Lives and Extra PowerUps. The last thing we did was we added the destroy outside layout and then the bullet behaviors to your PowerUp sprite. So let's go ahead and see what's next. All right, step 8, setting the PowerUp type. I've never done this before, so let's go. Go back to where the power-up is created and after the set animation frame action for each power-up, add another action. Okay, so I see. So we're going to come right here. We're going to add another action to set the instance variable called type to the correct number of power-up. Okay, so the instance variable, we're going to go to power-up, and I believe it is set instance. Nope. I know it's in the instance variable menu. So set value. And we're going to do type, and the first one will set to 0, then 1, then 2. Again, this is just, okay. Yeah, so set type to 0, because remember, this is 0, and then 1 goes to this one, and then 2 will go to this one. So, I just forgot what I did. Power up, set value, type to 1, and then this last one will be power up, set value, type to 2. Okay. Adding the extra power-up function, extra life power-up functionality is easy. Just add an action to add 1 to player lives. Oh, I get that. Okay, so the first one, type 0, is our extra lives. So with our extra lives, what we're going to do here is go to the system, and we're going to do add to, and you're going to add another, number to your player lives. Nope. Yeah, player lives. Because if your character catches the heart, then we want the character to get an extra life. Sweet, that was step 8. Now what we're going to do is add shield power-ups. Adding the shield functionality is a little trickier. Start by adding a new instance variable to the player called shield. So in order to add a new instance variable, I'm going to go back to my layout. I don't have my properties bar, so I'm going to go to view, properties bar. And then as soon as you click the heart, that is when these all come up. And in order to add a new instance variable, here we are. Right now we have the instance variable of type. Oh wait, I want to be on my player. So player, make sure your player is illuminated. We're going to click instance variable and shield. And we'll default it to 0. Okay, and so add the actions to the shield when the power-up is collected. Close that. So when the power-up is collected, when you collide with the player, the power-up does, we are going to add 1 to the shield instance variable. So in order to get that, remember that instance variable is linked to your player. So it's going to be add to instance variable. We're going to add 1. Make the system wait 10 seconds. And subtract 1 from, oh, okay, so this is like how long you're going to have a shield. And then subtract 1 from the shield instance variable, which will then like take the shield off. This is really cool. Subtract 1. So I guess I did something wrong. Player, we're going to do subtract from the shield and 1. On your own spaceship shield tasks. Add an additional image frame to the player sprite that looks like your ship has a shield. Okay. So I'm going to come back here to my layout tab, double click on my player, and make a second one, and let's draw a really nice shield over him. Or you know what could also be cool? I feel like when you're like getting abducted by a spaceship and you're like, this is what my version of shield is going to be. Oh, this is gonna be so cool. All right. Enough of that. On the layout event, add an action on the on start of layout. So that's all the way up here. On start of layout, we're going to add an action to stop the player animation. So player stop animation. And I think I'm going to put that just at the top because I would definitely want that to happen before I start my wave. After you player is respawned after being destroyed, add an action to stop the player animation. So that would be bullet collisions. My player is destroyed. After your player is respawned, I believe that's going to be right here. Add an action to stop. I'm just going to watch this. I just want to double check. That's their shield. Did that. They didn't move theirs. I'm definitely going to. Okay, just what I thought. I just wanted to double make sure. So player, we're doing stop animation. And then after you add one to the shield instance variable, set the animation frame to 1. Okay. So come down here, and after I add 1 to the shield, I will set frame. And then move that up here, otherwise you will wait 10 seconds before he looks like he's got the shield. Right? Check player shield variable. So you'll only want to remove the animation frame from the shield if the player instance variable shield is 0. This will allow you to collect multiple shield power-ups and make sure that you get the full 10 seconds after the last one was collected. Okay, so add a sub-event. Got it. So come right here. We're going to add a sub-event to the power-up type 1 event. Player. This is going to be compare instance variable. And if my shield is equal to 0, then what we're going to do is set the animation frame to 0. So that's this one, set frame to 0. So this is saying that as soon as the shield is 0 again, meaning like there should be no more shield, we're going to put the animation frame back on our standard character. Add an action in this new event that sets the player back to 0. Is that what I just did? I did just do that. Okay. Collision sub events with shield. With the bullet collisions group, create sub events on the enemy player and bullet. Enemy player, enemy bullet and collision with player. Player bullet on collision with enemy. Their words are different than what they are showing. So player bullet on collision with enemy. Why would you put that there? Because if the enemy bullet collides with the player, you want to check and make sure that so we're going to do enemy bullet on collision with player. We're going to go with the words rather than what they're showing. Maybe I'm just reading it wrong. So go find where your enemy bullet collides with the player. We're going to add a new sub-event. And we're going to see if the shield variable is 0. And so that will be for our player, and we're going to compare instance variable of shield to 0. If there is no shield, then we're going to destroy the player. And then we'll do the same thing with boss bullets. So when the boss bullet collides with the player, we're going to add a sub-event, and we're going to check if the instance variable is 0. And if it is, then we are going to destroy the player. Ooh. Player triple gun instance variable. So this is going to be for like that extra attack power. What we're going to do is we are going to add another instance variable to our player object. So, not that. Add another one to our player instance variable, and I'm going to call it triple fire, because I don't like using that word. So triple fire. And it defaults at 0. Good. In the power up type equals 2 event, so we're going to come back here. And we're going to look at this one. So PowerUps type 2. We're going to add actions. Oh, it was to the player. Add 2. This time we're going to add to the triple fire. And we're going to add 1. Okay, that turns it on. We're going to wait for 10 seconds, and then we're going to turn it off. It means you're going to have extra attack power for 10 seconds. And then we're going to turn that off. So subtract from triple fire. Done. Cool. On spacebar triple gun or triple fire settings, so we're going to come up here to our user input, and on space press we're going to add another sub event. And what this is going to be is on our player. And so if our player's instance variable of triple fire is 1, then what we're going to do is as long as it's greater than 0. Okay. That could be 1, right? We're going to add actions such as the player is going to spawn another object. And what it's going to spawn is the player bullet. And then we're going to set the angle of motion to 260. So this will be our player bullet. Set angle of motion. Make sure it's the one from the bullet. 260. Repeat those two actions, but this time we're going to set it to 180. Okay, so this will spawn us another one. So player, we're going to spawn another object. We're going to spawn the player bullet. But this time the bullet is going to do, you can see I'm clicking on the player bullet, and we're going to set angle of motion to 280. This is going to be really cool. To ensure our waves auto create successfully at the beginning of each layer, reorder your on-startive layout to make sure it looks like this. Oh. You want me to make it look like that? Okay. So we're going to first destroy the boss, destroy the enemy, set the enemies to 0, call wave, and then stop animation. I think that should be fine. I didn't really change anything. All right, test it out. Whew. All right, here's my triple attack. Oh, yikes. That's embarrassing. Let's get that shield. Oh, it looks like my shield actually gave me the triple attack. There's my shield. This is really, really cool. So let's see. And then that should go away after 10 seconds. There's my extra life. So I'm just gonna make sure that I did this right. Maybe I just didn't realize when I caught him. So power-ups. 0 is extra life, 1 is shield, 2 is triple attack. And okay, so I must have just caught the wrong one and didn't realize it. This is so cool. Be proud of yourself.